that are heading for the exits right about now. With that said, this is Cubs Post Game Live, presented by Yingling, America's oldest brewery, and I'm Cole Wright. That's Ryan Dempster, and both of us knew the Cubs were down, but they were never out, were they?
No, and not in that ballpark, and not this team, man. They have the ability to score runs in bunches in a hurry, and we saw it on display. Came from the bottom of the lineup, and Reese McGuire, unexpected, not even expected to be in the lineup today, and he goes out there and hits 2 home runs. But then here they go, just chipping away. Nico Horner with the big double scores 2. The next thing you know, base hit, scores him, and here we go in the action that took place. You know, Michael Busch, everybody contributing, everybody chipping in today. And then the home run by Reese McGuire to tie it. I got to tell you, Seiya Suzuki gets his tower buzzed by the reliever, and then what does he do? He says, I'm requesting a flyby to the left field bleachers. An absolute missile off of his bat. Scorches it, 3-run homer, putting the Cubs up. This was fun, Cole. This was a fun comeback.
A whole lot of fun. You see the largest deficit overcome all season long at the Reds. Friday, a 4-spot overcome at the Reds. And you know, Cincinnati fans right now, they're thinking, we're going to have to see this Cubs team a whole bunch more times in this season, 10 to be exact. And taking on the Diamondbacks, they were able to overcome that one. But for Reese McGuire to get in there, last-minute insertion to this ball game in the 9 spot behind the plate, is it a case of him not really having enough time to think too much? I just got to get in there and swing the bat.
I got to say, yeah, like he was hitting the ball well in AAA. So, like,
good point.
You know, in his career, he has been known for being, you know, the catcher, the defensive first catcher, but he does have some pop in that bat. And in AAA, 3 home runs, 18 RBIs this year. Things were going well for him. But I'll tell you what, waking up and going, all right, I just got to be there and help this team however I can. By the way, you're going to go in because Carson Kelly's not feeling well. You're right, didn't have time to think. All of a sudden, it's boom, homer. Then it's another one. Good at bat. So, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of the story of this team this year. It's like, you have 14 home runs out of the catcher's position.
That's good.
9 from Kelly, 3 from Amaya, and now 2 from Reese McGuire. Go around the league and find another team with 14 home runs out of that position.
Was it also a case of the Cincinnati Reds' arms? They necessarily weren't worried about Reese McGuire. He came in, and all they needed out of him today was a defensive showing, and he really brought the lumber.
Yeah, I think, you know, seeing the relievers as much as they did in this series really helped.
True.
You know, even last night, I know they didn't win the game yesterday, but they had the tying run on base with Kyle Tucker up, or the tying run at the plate in the 9th inning. They didn't quit the whole series. Down in all 3 games, and to come back down by 4, and then today, this win. This is a happy flight. You're coming home for Memorial Day.
That's right.
Day game, I'm throwing that first pitch out. I'm excited.
They're barbecuing tonight.
These boys are having a blast, and they should be, man. What they've been doing, they're leading Major League Baseball in runs scored. They're first in extra base hits, tied with the New York Yankees, and they're 3rd in home runs. Offensive explosion day in, day out. It doesn't stop. This lineup doesn't quit. And how about that right there? Put yourself in some elite company.
Yeah, Jim Marshall, Earl Webb, anytime the file footage of these guys is grainy and in black and white, that's when you know you're doing something really right. These guys, they didn't want to come back to Wrigley and have to see the man that'll be singing the 7th inning stretch and throwing that first pitch with a frown splayed across his face. Dempy, they did it for you today, and right now it's Reese McGuire. He's catching up with Taylor McGregor on his banner afternoon.
Thanks, Cole. Reese, if somebody would have told you last night that you would be playing today and hit 2 home runs, what would you have thought?
I'm just thankful for this opportunity to be back here. What a team to be a part of, and that was a fun game.
You're getting a little emotional. What brings that out?
Yeah, just worked really hard to get back here, and thankful for the opportunity. Teammates, you know, we kept fighting all game. They put up 4 runs early on our starter, and you know, he had to grind through it, put some more innings together, and hand it off to the bullpen to kind of piece together the rest of the game. But just one by one, you know, I've been watching these guys on TV and watching them never give up, so it's cool to be a part of that.
You were running around second, and you did the cheer. How did you know to do that?
I think I've seen it on TV a few times from PCA, but and many other guys, but they were definitely top step of the dugout, looking for me, trying to make that happen.
What stands out about this group and why they're able to come back in the fashion that they have so many times?
Relentless, you know, by the leadership of the coaching staff, you know, just constantly staying in our ear how good we are, and hey, never give up. We got at bats to go win, and you know, getting to the bullpen there, getting their start out of the game definitely helped, and just had to piece together some things.
Thank you, Reese. Cole?
T-Mac, Reese, good stuff, and it was a nice short trip for Reese McGuire. He was in Columbus with the I-Cubs facing off against the Clippers. He got the call and said, you know what, it's an hour trip, give or take. I'm ready to go in there and make his presence felt, and that's exactly what we saw today. He really have to applaud his effort.
Dude, I just think this is such an awesome story. First of all, a guy, like you can see it, right? The emotion, so thankful for getting the opportunity to get back up, because you could be doing great things in AAA when you're a guy that's been around this long. You might spend the whole entire year there, but instead he gets an opportunity because of injury and necessity. And then because someone's sick, he finds himself in a starting lineup, lefty-on-lefty matchup versus Nick Lodolo, and takes him deep in his first at-bat. I'm like, what is going on here? And then, by the way, let's not forget that he has to face a lefty later on and takes him deep. So it's unbelievable what this moment must be like for him, and to be a part of something. He's been watching it from Iowa. He's been hearing the stories. We're all seeing it. The power display from the Chicago Cubs, and Reese McGuire gets to join the party.
Is that the Emperor?
There it is.
Hold on a second. Return
Unlimited
of the Jedi.
power is right. It was on display.
Let the force flow through you right there. Reese McGuire and Seiya Suzuki, and they have lots of unlimited power, no doubt about it. We saw an absolute electric factory in the top of the eighth, a 3-run pop. Seiya Suzuki, that made it 11-8. Like you said, he got his tower buzz, but he stood in there and he said, I'm going to pull this one. Forget going oppo. It's all about that vulgar display of power from Seiya.
Yeah, and you mentioned the ball jumps off his bat differently. We talked about it yesterday. That ball was an absolute rocket. Torched. You had to be ducking if you were in those left field bleachers, because that ball was coming in hot. But Seiya Suzuki continuing to pad that. Now the Major League Baseball leader in RBIs.
It's a back and forth between these guys. Seiya, he'll go down. Pete, he'll go up top. And then these guys just trading things off. And is it good to have two of the clubhouse leaders in runs batted in on your team?
I mean, it's unreal. And you look at top to bottom, not just RBIs. You look at the home runs. You go to the NL Central and the home run leaders, the first 5 are Cubs. Everybody is scorching the baseball. It seems like it's somebody else. You get contributions from the top, the middle, the bottom of the lineup. That's what winning ball clubs do. This has a really good feel about it, this lineup, the way that some days it's somebody else, not always the same person. We see those two guys at the top of the list leading Major League Baseball in RBIs. That's great. But it's also everybody else chipping in. It's the at-bat by Nico Horner. It's the guy getting on base. It's Michael Busch coming through with the base hit. It's everybody playing a part in the Cubs' victories.
Without a doubt, the Cubs, they moved to 17-11 on the road. They are certainly a tough out when they are away from the federal landmark of Wrigley Field. I know that, Deb knows that, and if there's anybody who certainly knows that, it's the skipper, Craig Counsell. Here he is on the W.
Yeah, I mean, it was just another just great job by the offense, and hats off to Reese McGuire. It's not only a big day. I mean, against a left-handed reliever in the 8th inning, you hit a home run. So just stepping up, get an opportunity, and stepping up and really helping us win a game.
When I was talking about the field, he got emotional just because of the work that he put in. What about our sport affords opportunities like that, and what is it like for you to witness?
Well, I think it's, in Reese's situation, maybe you feel like something's slipping away and you're not getting an opportunity, and you're asked to just keep going without any promise of an opportunity, and then probably, when you least expect it, you get an opportunity. Wasn't in the lineup today. Wasn't planning on getting called up last night, I'm sure. And you get that opportunity and maybe have the game of your life. It's the things that make all these players, you got to keep going, because you don't know when that day comes, and it's hard to do. It sounds easy. Well, just keep going, but when you get bad news, or no news, it's hard. So you're happy for him. Very happy for him.
It feels like once a series. I mean, you guys are putting up double-digit runs, or you're putting together the rallies that you've had this series. I mean, just what is it like in the dugout when you guys do get down a bit early, and just the way, the consistency of the at-bats that you guys still produce?
Well, it was really every inning again tonight, and I thought it was yesterday and day one as well. We didn't capitalize on every opportunity, but we get on 8-3, we get first and second right away, and we end up scoring a run that inning, and just chipping away. The bullpen held it the whole way, and then we're getting leadoff hitters on, and once the leadoff hitter gets on, it just feels like there's something going, and but it's not easy to get that leadoff hitter on as much as we are, right? And we're doing a heck of a job of it.
When you look at Seiya's series, just what jumps out the most to you?
Yeah, I mean, well, just a lot of quality contact first, and then that ball today was just hit so hard. I mean, that ball was hit very, very hard. He took a really good swing on the foul ball. It's a sinker guy, and so you see that foul ball that kind of popped up behind the third base line, and you're like, he's in front of that. He's out front of that. And then he worked the count to his advantage and got a pitch out over the plate.
What do you make of the big innings with Ben and just how they popped up?
Well, it's two things. It's one, he basically gave them 10 pitches to start the game where he was, free pitches, and that led to 2 runs essentially. And then he struggled the third time through the lineup, and so those are two things we've got to get better at, and we've got to help him get better at.
What about the 2 out, nobody on rally in the 7th? That was a big part of this game as well.
2 out, yeah. I mean, that was Nico's hit, right? And Nico had a great defensive game as well. There's a couple play up the middle, and then the diving play. Just 2 really, really good defensive plays. But yeah, I mean, I guess I was talking about the leadoff hitter, but we got scored in that way too, and just keeping it going. Nico had a huge hit there to pick up some runs. Bushy continued it, so against Ashcraft, who's been pretty tough.
I know you mentioned Reese's situation in terms of him, but how much does it lift the team up to just after the unfortunate?
Yeah, I mean, I think it does, absolutely. When someone goes down and one of your key contributors goes down, it's and you feel like you're probably going to miss them for a little bit here. It's bad news, and it can feel like you've created a hole, so to speak, without one of your guys. But we've had a number of guys from AAA step up, whether it be Chris Flexen and today Reese McGuire. So those guys down there are doing an excellent job. Our staff down there is doing an excellent job getting those guys prepared. And I think they see what's going on here, and I think they see that they can be part of something pretty special, and they're taking advantage of it.
Taking advantage, that is key. 3 NL Central series, 3-0 in said series, all on the road. That is definitely our calling card. So on the flip side, we're bringing you highlights and clubhouse reaction. A raucous bunch. They were ready to roll today. Keep it locked.
How locked in do you feel at the plate right now?
今打席に立って、どれほど自信持ってますか？
自信はないです。ただ自分の触れるボールっていうのを待って、それを今一発で仕留められているのがいいのかなと思います。
I have no confidence, but I'm able to, get my pitch and swing at it, and then get my A swing off on the pitch that I'm waiting for.
What do you think makes this lineup so special, and the way you guys are able to score so many runs in bunches and do it late in games?
このラインナップを見て、その試合の後半になっても、点を入れて負けてでも追い返してできるっていうのはどう思いますか？
いや、もう強いチームの証だと思いますし、どんな状況でも相手にプレッシャーをかけれるっていうのは今のチームの強みだと思うんで。今日の試合もちょっと苦しかったですけど、みんな我慢して最後にこうやって追い越せたっていうのはチーム全体でも自信になったんじゃないかなと思います。
Yeah, I think that's a sign of a really strong team. We can continue to put pressure on them regardless of the situation. And today, we were in a tough situation, but we were able to stick with it and get the wins. I think it just shows how strong the team, the lineup is.
Craig suggested that just before the home run, he just missed, I think it was a sinker, and then the ball left the ballpark. How good did that feel to hit it that hard?
カンセル監督が、ファウル打ったボールがシンカーで、それでもすごいいいスイングをして、でホームラン打ったボール、それはどれほど気持ちよかったですか？
いや、気持ちよかったですよ。やっぱりああいう展開でやっぱ打つっていうのは、すごく気持ちいいことなんですけど、ピッチャーも球も速くてシンカーに自信を持ってるピッチャーだったんで、 しっかりボール球を見切れて、いいカウントで勝負ができたんで、ああいう結果になったのかなというふうに思います。
I mean, it felt good, obviously, in that situation or those situations to hit a home run. It feels really good, but with that pitcher, he has a really good sinker. He has confidence in it, so I was able to take competitive pitches and get the pitch I want. So it was good at bat.
Just to follow up on that, you obviously hit a lot of line drive home runs, but someone's 116 off the bat. Like, how do you describe the physical feeling of that type of contact?
そのライナーでホームランとか打ったことあると思うんですけど、今日のその116マイル、そういうのをバットで打った時、フィジカルの感覚っていうのはどう説明しますか？
僕はあんまりパワーがあるタイプではないんで、相手のそのピッチャーの速いボールに対して、いい形でいいポイントで捉えられれば、ああいう打球がいくのかなっていうような感じなんで、相手のボールの強さがあっての、ああいう打球だと思います。
Yeah, I feel like I'm not a hitter with that much power. So, with the pitcher throwing that hard, using their velocity and, squaring up the baseball, I think that's the end result of what happens to that.
Tough day yesterday with Amaya's injury, but what was it like seeing Reese come in today and get the 2 homers?
昨日、天谷選手の怪我で苦しい状況でしたけど、今日、マグワイア選手が上がってきてホームラン2本打ったのを見てどう思いました？
いや、そんないきなり上がってきてああやって打てるっていうのは簡単なことじゃないですし、やっぱりいいピッチャーが揃ってる舞台でああやってすぐパフォーマンスが出せるっていうのはすごくいいすごいメンタルだなっていうふうに思いますね。
Yeah, just watching him, come up and hit 2 homers, especially against good pitchers. I mean, that's really tough to do, and so I think it just shows how mentally strong he is as a player.